for Blumpkin and Friends, starring your host, the Reverend Johnny Blumpkin.
You like that? You like that?
Hey kids, I'm the Reverend Johnny Blumpkin, and with me here today is my friend,
Nohnny.
Welcome back.
Yeah, thanks. Feel privileged.
This was an impromptu, thrown together episode here, because I didn't even know you were in town. I was just like, hey, what are you doing? And you replied with, I'm actually in town now.
Surprise!
I make it down every now and then, not too often.
Yeah, because you're way the fuck up there in God's country on the Ely, right?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Paddled into Canada from there.
Yeah.
A lot of people do that. Not me. I'm too lazy to go camping for a week straight and live off of campfire food.
Or die by getting trampled by a moose or eaten by a bear.
Yeah, that would not be fun. Yeah, there was, about a year ago, there's a big storm that went through there, and there's some Cub Scouts that were camping up there, and one of the Cub Scouts had a tree land on his tent and squished him like a pancake.
Jesus Christ.
Pretty sad, so I had to fly out a helicopter and go pick him up out in the Boundary Waters canoe area up there.
Wouldn't they just need like a body bag and a canoe?
I suppose, but there's like a whole group of Cub Scouts. There's like 8 or 10 of them that are up there camping.
That's fine. You just throw them all in a couple canoes and float them back down with the body. I mean, you got to learn about death.
Yeah, there's only one way to learn about it, hands-on, huh?
That is ironic that you did bring up the Scouts, because today our topic is being in the Scouts. I was in the Scouts for a short time. You said you were also in the Scouts for a few years.
2 years, yep.
So then what level did you get to?
Just Cub Scout, I think.
Well, there was Tiger Cub, and then there was, I think, Wolf Scout, Bear Scout, and another Weeblo. I made it up to Weeblos. And I said, fuck this. I'm sick of these stupid meetings. Half the guys in my den I did not like.
I was in there for the first year. Then, like, the second year came along, my mom was like, oh, I signed you up for Cub Scouts again. I'm like, oh, god damn it. I hated going to those goddamn meetings. I didn't learn anything from them.
No, all I did was learn how to get into trouble.
Yeah, I was with, like, the goody two-shoes group, so, like, they're all too good, like, well-behaved and everything.
Yeah, you had the most churchy guy in our whole school, and then you had another guy who came from a huge churchy family and was also in the drama club and of questionable orientation.
Yep, definitely. And they were, altar boys even, too. Both of those two.
I was an altar boy.
I was for one mass, and that was it.
That's it.
You were an altar boy?
Fuck yeah.
It's hard to believe.
I think
Looking
like
back
2 or
on it,
3.
Holy shit.
I know, right? I dabbled in so many things. They pretty much almost forced us to try it.
Yeah, they took volunteers one day, and I'm just like, yeah, I'll give it a try. Might as well. Growing up in a Catholic, going to Catholic school my whole life, that's kind of, kind of expected that you give back to the church in some way, so.
Yeah, it was more like a job, and then I needed to pay attention. That was my downfall, is that I got sick of paying attention to the whole mass, knowing when to do all the stuff I had to do. It's like, I come to church to zone out. This is like my free thinking time.
I wanted to be the altar boy that rang the little bells or whatever.
Yeah,
at that one point.
Wanted to do that.
But, they wouldn't let me do it. They gave it to the other dude. So
Oh.
I'm like, oh, come on. That's why I signed up for this thing.
Well, the Scouts' motto is always be prepared. And it's why I carry a whole plethora of shit in my backpack when I'm at work or on the go. I have silverware and floss and a tweezers, some earplugs and a handcuff key, random shit like that. And people are always just like, do you seriously have a fork and a knife in there? I'm like, what the fuck do you eat with? I'm not going to eat with a spork with the issue the goddamn inmates. But I always try to have stuff with me when I'm on the go. My police baton, a fold-out knife, a spare tire. Things of that nature.
Tell us why you wanted to join.
As far as the Scouts go, my dad signed me up. He was like, why don't you give it a try? I don't know if he was in it. I probably should ask him that. Because I don't know what his motivation was for making me do that. Just to give me an extracurricular that was related to school to fucking eat up my time.
Pretty much, yeah.
But it just gave me more opportunity to get into stuff.
Yeah, the Pinewood Derby cars, those are pretty fun.
Everybody remembers the Pinewood Derby. That's
Yeah,
like the only thing most people give a shit about.
Yep, pretty much, yeah.
And it's more for the dads because they're the ones that make the fucking cars.
Yeah, my dad made both of mine.
I did it 3 years, and I got all the way to the final race, and I came in second.
Damn it, so close, huh?
I still got that trophy at my parents' house. It's the only trophies I ever got.
Really?
2 Pinewood Derby trophies.
Yeah, you'd get a Pinewood trophy just for showing up to it probably nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone gets a trophy, you know.
The only other trophy I own is an old weightlifting trophy that they were throwing away at our school. So they let people just grab them before they went in the trash. So I have this powerlifting trophy, and I never fucking ever hit the gym until I was probably 26. Yeah. As far as stories about Scouts, you said you remembered a few.
Very few, yeah.
Well, lay them on me.
Well, the Pinewood Derby, obviously.
Yeah.
That was one of them. Another time, he made these wooden block. Well, we didn't even make it. We just kind of glued it together or something, then put our picture on it and gave it to our parents. It was some stupid little project craft day that we had.
They tried to have us make a radio out of, like, copper wire and an empty spool and a block of wood and some glue and shit. Mine did not work. I don't even know how the fuck that works. But it did not take.
Well, how old are you when they had you do this?
I think 7.
Yeah, I'm 36 now, and I can't even figure out how this shit would work. I have no idea.
You would have thought the dads would have tried to help us make that better, but no, they're just saying, hey, come on, figure it out.
Yeah, I'd be there years. I would never get the patch for that one, that's for sure.
I don't even know what I got for patches. We had to wear that stupid red vest after a while to display all your patches. And it was sad because there was so much vest and I had so few actual merit badges and shit.
See, I don't even think I got the vest.
No?
I don't even think I made it that far, no.
Oh. You got the handkerchief?
Yeah, I got the handkerchief, yeah. You get that like right away, I think.
Well, kind of. And this is a story from when, like, the first time we started when we were Tiger Cubs. It's the lowest rung on the ladder you could be back then. Do you remember the bridge crossing ceremony?
I do not know.
I've told this story a number of times. There's a little bridge, and you walk over it, and that was supposed to be symbolic that you were crossing over from being a Tiger Cub to a Cub Scout.
Okay, it sounds familiar.
And you'd get your handkerchief, or your neckerchief, whatever. You basically get a gang rag with a fucking Boy Scout logo on it to wear around your neck. And to get it, they would have your dad flip you upside down and tie it around your neck.
Okay, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So they had us go up one by one, and it was in front of the whole pack, like the whole cafeteria full of all the different dens and the different age groups. And obviously we went to Catholic school. So for some reason, when my dad flipped me upside down, they couldn't get it tied right away. So it took multiple attempts, and then the blood was rushing to my head. And I know I just go, Jesus Christ! Dead silence. Every other kid in my den that went up there, got his neckerchief, and walked back to his seat afterwards, got applauded. I got not a single clap. I somehow offended every parent in the cafeteria that night just by taking their Lord's name in vain. Which is fucking harsh, because I think I was 6. And then my dad brought me home and took pictures afterwards, but that's after he yelled at me about how angry and embarrassed he was and spanked me. So there's these pictures of me wearing this stupid neckerchief and holding this guidebook on the stairs, and I'm supposed to be smiling, but it's very evident I've been crying from getting just lambasted with all of his goddamn criticism on the ride home.
And your face is all red and everything, too.
Oh, I think you could still see the tear
puffy.
streams. Oh, my God. That was very early on. And we'd have the monthly meetings, which were supposed to be fun. They weren't. Like when we'd actually have our den meetings with all the people. Not the whole pack meeting. We'd have one of those once a month or maybe quarterly. I don't fucking remember.
Yeah, I don't either.
I know like 2 dudes that ever became Eagle Scouts.
I don't know anybody.
I never could have committed to that shit.
I just didn't have fun.
But the people that were in my den, I didn't like them. Right? So I tried to get along with as many as I could. And we went to this one dude's house. And he had a younger sister. And my dad had his truck with the topper. Well, at some point, we're all sitting in the back of my dad's truck. And a few of them were playing tag in the front yard of the kid's house that it was. So I got this kid's little sister to say something very inappropriate out loud about one of the other guys in my den. His last name was Tucker.
I know who you're talking about.
Okay. I dared her to go on the front step and shout this out, and she did it. So picture, like, we're 8 years old at the time. So this is, like the second year I'm in it. She might have been 6. She goes on the front step, and to get his attention, she goes, Tucker the Walker, the big fat fucker.
That's pretty good.
My dad knew immediately who put her up to it, too. And I got in so much shit for that. Kind of put a damper on the evening.
Yeah, I can see how that would happen.
Right. I don't know why, looking back, I can't tell that story without laughing.
That is pretty funny. Like, I can imagine you being 7, 8 years old and making someone else do that.
I knew how to swear so early. Thanks to my parents. And, I told that story at work a few weeks, like 3-4 weeks ago, to one of the new hires, and I couldn't get through the story without laughing. I'm like, give me a minute to gain my composure here. And then I finished the story, and she's just looking at me and kind of chuckling. I'm like, no, laughter is the appropriate response. I made a little kid swear and use the worst word she could have. That shit is funny. Nothing like that ever happened at your meetings, I suppose, because you had high holy.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
And the other one, the drama club kid. I'm going to have to start crossing these off because I have like 8 or 9 things on here.
Remember like when we had to go camping?
That's on here, is when we went to scout camp.
All right. Yep, I remember that. That was pretty fun.
We tented out. It was just up at like the Rum Central Scout Camp.
Somewhere like that, yeah.
And then we did like bow and arrow shooting and stuff.
Yep.
Which I sucked at because I'd never done any of that shit.
Yeah, I never had either, and I haven't done it since then.
I don't know why you would need to. I'm not trying to join Robin Hood's merry men.
Oh, guns are easier.
Well, yeah, of course. But, that whole weekend, I only remember shooting the bow and arrows. I don't think we shot BB guns. But I do remember that I had to go home early because somebody did not pay attention to my fluid intake, and I was dehydrated as shit and got heat exhaustion. Like, wow. I got fucking wicked sick, and my dad had to take me home.
That was only 2 nights.
Right, but we were out in the fucking sun all day.
I suppose.
And it was hotter than all get out. And, yeah, I just remember, nobody said you have heat exhaustion. My dad just said, oh, he's not feeling good, we better go home. Like, I just felt fucking terrible. And he probably should have given me, like, a big jug of water to just top off. Because I probably could have gone to the hospital at that point. So, thumbs up there, Dad, for paying attention to what's going on with me. Fuck! I don't remember much about that. Just, our tent was under a tree. Like, under pine trees and shit. And it felt like we were way further out than we were.
Yeah, it seemed like it took forever just to get out there, but it makes sense that that's at that Rum River Boy Scout camp.
Well, it was probably because my dad fucking drove slow enough to drive Miss Daisy. He drives like an old lady screws. Just slow and awkward. Like way too attentive, looking over his shoulder, getting worked up about dumb shit. He'll come to a 4-way stop. He'll wave everybody else through, even if it's his turn, and they were the second car back across from him.
Yeah, see, I'm the opposite. I make sure I stop before they do so I can get going first.
Right.
Otherwise, because if you sit there, it's like all awkward. You're like, all right, you're going to go. Then you just like move a little bit, then somebody else moves a little bit, then you have to stop. It's just,
then you wave and they wave, and then suddenly I get upset and I start flicking people off as I just go.
Yeah, I just say,
fuck you,
I'm
it's
going.
My turn.
Yeah.
Dickholes. Did you ever go to the scout? I don't know if it was like a jamboree or whatever the fuck it was at Northtown Mall. Do you remember having something at Northtown Mall?
I do not remember anything like that, no.
Oh, dude. It was this big scouting expo. And when we were in scouts, the Pinewood Derby took place in the gym.
Cafeteria. Wasn't it? I thought it was the cafeteria.
The gym is what I remember.
I remember the cafeteria.
It could have been both, but the point is it happened at school.
Yep.
And I've seen pictures online now of shit going on at Northtown Mall.
I do not remember anything to do with Northtown at all.
I don't know if like the enrollment numbers are down or if those are like, once you win at your school, then you go up against other kids from other schools or what the fuck is going on. But yeah. So there was a scout jamboree at Northtown Mall. And where we were stationed was right by Montgomery Ward's. What used to be Ward's now is just like the entrance to LA Fitness.
That's Best Buy now, isn't it?
No. That's on the opposite end.
Okay.
Ward's Best Buy would be on the east end, and Ward's was like on the north end.
Okay, all right.
If I'm getting my geography down. Either way, there was a bank of fucking payphones.
What?
And I thought it would be funny to start making 911 hang-up calls.
It's a great idea.
Once again, I'm 7 or 8 years old. And I said to my parents, I'm like, what was so hard about raising me? I was like Dennis the fucking Menace the more I think about this shit. And I've told this story before, too, about my dad catching on. At some point during the day, during the expo, everybody went to this middle of the mall to go meet, to fucking listen to some speaker. And as they're making announcements, he's like, and then we have another announcement. Apparently someone has been making 911 hang-up calls, and we need it to stop.
Your dad probably knew right away again, didn't he?
He didn't say shit, and I'm pretty sure I didn't let out or give up that it was me. But on the ride home, he kind of asked me about it. And I'm like, what do you mean? He said, that was you, wasn't it? I knew that was you. He fucking knew. I don't know why he knew it was me, but apparently I was like the ringleader of that shit.
It's time for another good idea, bad idea with Jesse the Body. Good idea. Helping an old lady cross the street and carry her groceries. Bad idea. Helping an old lady end her pain by holding a pillow over her face until she stops breathing.
Be my angel.
Okay, but I better get written into the will for this shit, seriously. Good idea. Letting your scout leader help you tie knots. Bad idea. Letting your scout leader help you tie one on.
I never told anyone this, but you're so good at cursive.
You're listening to Blumpkin and Friends.
Did you ever get the Parvuli Day Award?
I have no idea.
Well, I did. And I have no effing clue what I did to get it. It was some religious bullshit. I don't know to this day. I didn't even bother Googling it because I don't give a fuck. But I have a Parvuli Day Award sitting at my parents' house in a drawer somewhere. It was like this little fucking pin prize medal thing with some saint on it.
So it wasn't like one of those patches that you could put on your...
No, it was some fucking award that you had to do something for, and I have no idea what I did to get it, but I got it, and yeah.
The purpose of the Parvuli Day Award is to help young Boy Scouts explore a wide range of activities in order to discover the presence of God in their daily lives as members of their families and parishes, and also to develop a positive self-image through the contributions they can make to the group or community.
You ever go to the lock-in? Remember going to a lock-in at Coon Rapids High School?
I remember that now that you mention it. Yeah.
The all-nighter?
Yep, I was there.
I couldn't sit still. There was so much shit going on. There was like movies showing in some rooms, and in the cafeteria people, there was like art stuff. I remember two things. Being exhausted by the end of it because it was an up-all-night thing.
Yep.
And I went home that morning and ate a bowl of cereal and then watched The Adventures of Super Mario Brothers 3 before falling asleep. I was watching the Mario 3 cartoon.
Oh, it's the little things in life that you can remember, huh?
And then there was this kid there that was really good at drawing Bart Simpson's head. And his dad was remarking about how good he was. This kid must have had no other skills. Because his dad would not shut the fuck up about how good he was at drawing Bart Simpson. And he didn't draw all of them, just the head. Just that. So we were all standing around just in amazement. Because, I mean, this is 89 or 90, the height of when The Simpsons first came out. And this kid's doodling Bart Simpson. We're like, oh my God, he's so great. So as soon as he just throws some to the side that he's done with, we're all grabbing him, taking turns. Like, these are going to be Van Goghs someday. Worse some shit. I probably have one sitting in my old desk at my parents' house because I didn't ever throw anything away. Including my Charlie Brown and Peanuts coloring book. That a few years after I was done with it, I found it again. And then I went back and drew boobs on all the girls.
Go on.
But I drew like weird wavy boobs that were like going different directions at the same time.
Well, it's a cartoon. You have to. It can't be like realistic looking.
Lucy had some weird water balloony saddlebag saggy tits. And she's on roller skates. And I just put a speech bubble like, "Hey, Charlie, look at my floppy tits." I think I was 11 or 12 when I did that. Clearly, I've matured a lot since then.
Yeah, obviously.
Because I wouldn't draw boobs now. I draw dicks on stuff, which is way funnier.
Ha ha ha!
And now, Jeremy Irons raps.
It's a bonfire, so turn the lights out. I'm burning everything you mutt-ha-fuckers talk about. It's a bonfire, so turn the lights out. I'm burning everything you mutt-ha-fuckers talk about.
That was Jeremy Irons raps.
You're listening to Blumpkin and Friends.
This is the year I quit, when we were in Weeblos. One meeting in particular, the meeting was at my house, and I decided not to participate because I was just saying, I don't want to do this anymore. So my dad's super pissed. And I sat in my room and played fucking Super Mario Brothers the whole time. And then my dad forced me to come down to the kitchen when everybody else was meeting. And then I was like, can we like go for a nature walk or something? They use that as a ploy. Okay, if you guys do this and that, we get through the meeting and we have time, we'll go for a nature walk. And we went through my neighborhood over by Hamilton School, and there's this paved path now for joggers and bikes that goes along Highway 10 and winds through the back of my parents' neighborhood. Well, back then, none of that shit existed. It was just a dirt trail. And as we're walking on our nature walk, or on our hike, some kids that used to hang out at the house behind mine, and they were all fucking juvenile delinquents. They were sitting 4 or 5 of them in a circle, and they clearly had just been token up because one of their eyes was so glassy. They're just way too chill. And they're hiding half in the woods. So if you can explain to me what a bunch of teenagers would be doing on a nature trail, all glossy-eyed, at dinner time on a weekday, not really saying shit and just totally spaced out.
You actually knew like what weed was back then, or?
Well, thanks to Dare, yes, I did.
There you go.
I paid attention in Dare. I knew that drugs were bad. And even now, I love hugs, not drugs.
That was 6th grade when we went through Dare, wasn't it?
Nah, 5th.
Was it 5th? I thought it was 6th.
Either way, I knew what these kids were up to. They were smoking, and I would say that, oh, they're smoking their marijuana cigarettes. I probably got that shit from my mom because it sounds so goddamn uncool. Not, oh, they're toking up or they're smoking joints or they're getting high. They're smoking marijuana cigarettes.
Smoking the weed.
You would have thought I got those fucking terms right out of Reefer Madness.
Yeah, see, I didn't learn about marijuana until like 2 years after that when I started smoking.
Right. Who helped you discover that, by the way?
One of my neighbors.
Yeah?
He brought like a ball over to a park and he's like, take a hit for $1. I'm like, all right.
$1?
Yeah.
Was it all stems and seeds?
Yeah, it was pretty bad stuff.
Fucking cheap-ass weed.
Like, I think I was in like junior high or something, but it didn't even do anything for me the first time I smoked it. But.
Hey, it was probably fake shit.
It tasted pretty real.
Well, how the fuck did you know back then?
Well, because I smoked it that day and I smoked it like a week later, too. And then second time I smoked it. It tasted the same anyway. That's
not a very scout-worthy act on your behalf there.
That's why I did not want to be in the Boy Scouts.
Token up with the bungalow kids.
Yep. Exactly.
It was, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah, it was all the bungalow kids.
The bungalow kids with all their... There's pretty much trailer park boys down at the end of your street with those bungalow kids.
They're worse than trailer park boys.
Oh, great.
Well, yeah, if you ever needed cigarettes or weed, that's where you went. So that's where I like to hang out at.
So you never got to the point where your den had a name, did it?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. I recall distinctly one name when we had the big pack meetings, and it was Pack 524, and I was in Den 7.
How do you remember all this shit?
Because I never did drugs.
Well, I can remember some stuff, just not...
I'm not saying there's anything wrong if you want to do drugs. I'm not trying to shame anybody that drinks or does drugs recreationally. I mean, if you do hard drugs and it fucks up your life, you're an idiot. But I remember the pack meetings... And there was one group of older kids, and there was this kid, for some reason, I idolized him, and his name was Marshall. And he was in Panther Patrol. That was the name of their den. Once we stopped using numbers and started using names to sound cool, we could not come up with anything fucking cool. And we couldn't agree on it in our den. So our fathers decided that we collectively would be Timberwolf Pack.
It's not too bad.
Now, back then they sucked and they were new. They were fucking terrible. And we wanted no part of it. We thought it was so lame. If somebody would have just thought to be, let's drop the timber and just be the Wolf Pack. Okay, we would have been light years ahead of the NWO or the rap group from Jersey. Wolf Pack is a cool fucking name.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Panther Patrol is pretty cool, though, too.
No shit. And we came up with, like, Python Patrol, which is a rip-off of a specialty line of G.I. Joe Cobra action figures. That was my idea. Somebody else came up with Penguin Patrol.
Penguin Patrol?
I don't know. You're fucking asking a bunch of kids to just spitball ideas. If we were really cool, we would have been like 69 Boys. Years before the 69 Boys came out with Tootsie Roller and shit like that. Or, you know, no one's going to let a bunch of 8-year-olds be 2 Live Crew. That would have been a fucking cool name. Or if I'd go back in time, I'd whisper in my own ear and go, Wu-Tang Clan. No one would know. But like, fucking Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah, they'd be like, they ripped us off. Those fuckers.
Hey, I would love for that to happen. Just to be a little kid just going, Wu-Tang. Going up the W. Fucking people would love that shit. Joey Black all the time would go, Wu-Tang, still.
I'm Joey Black of Genre Treason, and you're listening to Blumpkin and Friends.
You know what I'm holding on this other note card?
I do not know.
Well, we've reached the point in the show where it's time to play a game. And you have not played this game yet.
All right.
I've had you do a different game every time you've been here. So you did the RPS challenge.
Yep, I did that last time.
The first time you were here, we did Guess Who Karaoke Roulette. It was very awkward for you as I sang Sugar Ray. But did you play Word Orgy?
Yep, that was the second time I was on. I think this is my 4th time now. So
well, now you're hitting for the cycle playing this game too, because I created a new game for the show, BS Trivia.
It's time to play bullshit trivia on Blumpkin and Friends.
It's 10 questions. There might be answers. There might not be answers. Sometimes I give people points or half points for creativity.
Okay.
So I basically come up with 10 questions at random, and it's just random bullshit. That's how I came up with it.
All right.
It's proven to be popular.
I'll give it a shot, see what happens.
All right. Well, right, just so you know, the record right now is 7. So, here we go. BS Trivia. Number 1. Win, lose, or draw.
Is that the question?
Yeah, that's a question, yeah. You're looking at me like, what the fuck is going on? Win, lose, or draw?
I say none of the above, because if it's worth trying, then it's not worth...
The answer actually was win.
Damn it.
I picked that one this time. Not starting off too good. Name a food that starts with Q.
I'm drawing a blank.
Nothing?
Quinoa? That's like a grain or rice or something.
Quinoa, I'll accept that. He's on the board.
All right.
There's a check mark there. Number 3. Cum tastes like...
As I heard, it tastes like tomato soup.
That's random.
That's what I've heard.
I was hoping you would say, I have no idea or I don't know, but the fact that you gave me a legitimate answer, I'm going to give you a point for that. That was pretty good. Tomato soup? Who fucking told you that?
Somebody, when I was back in freshman year of high school or something, some chick told me that.
Was it Cow Eyes?
No.
I bet you she took a load in the throat.
Probably. More than one.
At least one from Marion Gabrick, we heard.
I think she's full of shit on that one.
Well, you never know. Number 4. True or false?
False.
Actually, it was all of the above.
God damn it.
It was a trick this time. Now, that's how I roll. What is the Contra code for 30 lives?
Up, up, down, down, left, left, right, right. A, B, select, start.
You're so close.
Was it 1-player or 2-player? Because 2-player you have to push select, then start.
Well, I looked this up to reassure myself. The code was up, up, down, down, left, right, A, B, start.
Okay, that's for the 1-player mode then.
And that's for 30 lives.
Damn it.
You were close.
Yeah, I knew about what it was.
I figured if you're going to remember anything from when we were kids, you'd remember a video game code from original Nintendo.
I actually never played that game, but...
No?
No. I heard somebody posted something on Facebook about that or something like a week ago. And so I'm like, oh yeah, that's right.
Number 6. Sonic is a hedgehog. Krusty is a clown. What the fuck is Grimace?
Monster.
He's actually a semi-retarded purple gumdrop. You tried. You tried on that one. You're going to have to run the table now to register on the point wall. Number 7. You remember Vietnam?
When I watch Forrest Gump, I do.
Good enough for me. Number 8. It's my favorite question. I switch it up every time. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Nobody knows.
You don't want to guess a place? Just guess a random location?
Uruguay.
She was actually in Gothenburg, Sweden, at a metal festival.
Oh, all right.
That's
Makes
where
sense.
she was this week. Number 9. Best Lethal Weapon movie.
The original. Original is always the best.
I said 3.
Well, you're wrong.
All right. Well, I guess I'm giving him a point because it's opinion based on that one. So you're at 4. You can bat 500 here if you get number 10. I need you to finish this phrase. That's the bottom line, cause
it's at the bottom of the page.
Dropping my head. Joey Black is laughing his ass off right now. That's the bottom line, cause Stone Cold said so. You didn't watch a lot of wrestling in the late 90s, did you?
I didn't watch a lot of wrestling at all.
Son of a bitch. Well, that's a 4 out of 10. You matched Ivy, the babysitter.
It's not too bad. I'll take it.
She's 22. Her base of reference is much smaller.
Yeah, well, I smoked a lot of weed in my days, so I
Fair
got no
enough.
excuse.
I will give you that one. I can't argue with that. Interact with the show on Twitter at Blumpkin Show. That is at Blumpkin Show. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/group/Blumpkin and Friends. I'm the Reverend Johnny Blumpkin.
I am Nohnny.
Good night.
Okay, Stu, let's pitch a tent. Grab this pole, Stuart. Stick it in the hole, Stuart. In the hole. Stuart is the teacher's pet.
Yeah.
Okay, boys, let's erect this thing.